And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the short two-player game Sheep, Dogs, and Wolves, which comes here. The rules separately. I guess you can roll the rules up in here. Now I don't know if it's Sheep, Dogs, and Wolves, or if it's Sheep, Dogs, and Wolves. Oh, it's Sheep, Dogs, and Wolves. I guess there is a comma there. But it could be Sheep, Dogs. Anyway, okay, we're getting past the point. Let's take a look at the game. Sheep, Dogs, and Wolves comes from one of these pencil case bags, and inside that pencil case bag are a bunch of these small little felt tokens, and you'll be using those in a bit, and then a bunch of these tiles. Now these tiles are all exactly the same, and they're made up of material that's rubber on the back and felt on the front. You know, easy to, and they bend a little bit because you're putting them inside that case. You know, you can squish them up, I suppose, and they unbend, and they lay pretty well on the table. Now you're going to start with one on the table. One person's going to be a sheep, and the other person is going to be wolves. And on my turn, I'm going to take one of these tiles and put it basically anywhere that I want to on the table. I can place it in any direction. And so players are going to be placing these tiles like this. You know, again, you can. There's no rule except that it has to touch a tile that's already in play, and you know, you can see that players can put them upside down, sideways, partially touching tiles only in one spot. Now, I'm not really trying that hard to do well with these tiles. And there's more tiles than this. But let's say these are all the tiles that are in a game. Now, I'm going to show you how you score at the end of the game. First, you're going to see which wolves are stopped by sheepdogs. Now every wolf is next to one sheepdog, but no sheepdog can take out a wolf by itself. So any wolf that's next to two dogs is out. So you can see that wolf is out, that one is out. Let's see, this one is out. Those two are fine. That one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. This one's next to two, so that one's out. So now I've taken out all the wolves that are on the board. Now I'm going to take out sheep. Any sheep that's next to a wolf that hasn't been taken out by dogs is gone. So that sheep is eaten. Yummo, yummo. I got that sheep too. This sheep is gone, and so is that sheep. Let's see here. This sheep is gone, and that sheep is gone. And I think I've gotten everything. All the rest of the sheep are not next to wolves at all. So we count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the score for the sheep player is 7 points. We now switch places, and the other person plays the sheep player, and they flip-flop, and one person plays the wolf, and then you see who has the higher score of sheep. Now that's one way to play. The other way is to bid, where each player says how many sheep they think they can get. You raise a number. I can get 6, I can get 7, I can get 8, I can get 10. They bid that number, and then whoever bids higher becomes a sheep player. They have to get that number of sheep safe, or they lose. And that's the game. Well, there you have it. A very simple game. You can make games bigger and longer if you buy extra packs. At first, the wolf player is going to be frustrated. Now, you saw me, I put those tiles out randomly. But as you're placing them, that dog player is going to be nailing wolves all over the place because it's pretty easy to put those dogs out in such a way to kill most of the wolves. But the wolf player will eventually get wolves in the spots where you can't get two dogs next to them, and then he has to make sure he gets as many sheep as he can. And the dog player has to be very careful not to place the tiles in such a way that a wolf can get in there where you essentially can't stop it then. It's not super heavy at all. It's light, it's simple. I enjoyed it. I don't think this would be a game that will last for thousands of years with great strategies behind it. If you played a computer, the computer would probably beat you every time. However, I don't think you have to think that hard about it either. This is an abstract strategy game, although the theme sheep, dogs, and wolves works well. The scoring almost takes longer than the game sometimes. You quick put out the scoring and you're done, but the game itself, you're just throwing out tiles. If you play this on a light level, and just enjoy yourself trying to, each player's playing a different way, but you have the same tiles. There's going to be, it's not like there's no special abilities, no special tiles. It's the same thing you put out. I think it works well in that regard. We're talking a 10-minute game here. Well, I guess 20 minutes because you each play the sheep once. I like the duel method better than the bidding method because the bidding is a little, unless you've played it many times, you really don't know how many sheep you can get. And the duel gives you a number really to work towards as the sheep player or the sheepdog player on the second time around because you know how many sheep the other guy got. All right, I'm probably talking about this game longer than needs to be talked about. You've seen what it is, a light two-player abstract game. If you like that sort of thing, this is a good one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.
Shut the door.